Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome back to our North America Pack DLC showcase in Planet Zoo. Today's time-lapse is densely packed with information that I'm super excited to share. We're adding in the Cougars today, and as you may or may not be aware, the Cougar is actually seen across the Americas. North and South America, you will find Cougars, and I once again have the pleasure of being able to narrow down our scope a little bit by focusing on Canadiana. I've really been enjoying this focus. I feel like it's a little unique, it's a little special. I also get the opportunity to explore topics more deeply, ones that I've been familiar with only at a surface level. I've also had the opportunity to explore topics that, I've not known about at all. So that's all very fun, and I, of course, love sharing all my learnings and everything that I know. It's something I really enjoy doing. I can talk about some of this stuff for hours on end, as you very well know by now, I'm sure. So that's been fun, and seeing your responses in the comments seems as though that y'all are enjoying it as well. So that's great to know, and we're going to keep it going for as long as we can. There are a few other, I think, North American animals in this pack that kind of fit that bill where we can play with that Canadiana angle. Now, with regards to the Cougar, again, you can see it across the Americas. As far as North America is concerned, there are quite a few indigenous peoples with different perspectives or opinions or, I guess, folklore about the Cougar. The Hopi see them as guardians. Oh, I want to say really quickly, by the way, I'm very likely to be butchering pronunciations here. I apologize if that's the case, of course. If you know better, please do not hesitate to correct me. I will always try and learn and try and get better. Of course, there's a cap to how good I can get, but I'm going to try, obviously, to be better. And if I've got something wrong, I apologize for it. But I will try my best, of course. So, on that note, the Hopi see them as guardians. The Apache and the Wallapai see them as harbingers of death instead. The Algonquin and the Ojibwe believe that they lived in the underworld and they were wicked, but there is a bit of nuance to that. Again, this is all also based on my research, so if you're more well-informed, please feel free to, have me be more well-informed. Research can only go so far, no matter how many hours I spend on it. There's always more to do, right? There's also the Cherokee, consider them to be sacred, and again, if you're familiar at all with these people, you'll know that they're spread across the continent of North America, these ones specifically. But that's where our Canadiana focus comes in handy and kind of, again, narrows the scope for us a little bit. And there are more tribes and people that have different stories. I'm not going to list them all out because I'd be just talking about that for hours on end if I did. But instead, I want to dive deep into a specific set of stories, that is. The underwater panther. I know what you may be thinking. You're like, panther? What's going on here? Work with me here. Trust me. The underwater panther is a mythological beast that exists in many Anishinaabe stories. So Ojibwe, Ottawa, and again, I mentioned this previously, but the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, are very local to where I live in Canada. So there's almost like a, an extra sort of personal, I guess, layer of connection that helps me narrow down my scope a bit more. The Algonquin that I mentioned earlier as well, they're also, local to the area, so it's all very close to home for me, I guess, which is definitely introducing my personal bias into this playthrough. But that's all good, right? Anyway, so the underwater panther exists in stories across multiple Anishinaabe folks, and the underwater panther was even featured often on bags and things like that, on like attire and accessories and otherwise like fabric products, I guess, opposed to the Thunderbird. So, for example, if on one panel you have the underwater panther, on the other panel you will have the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird you might remember from our moose enclosure, right? A very important symbol, and we talked about its role as a protector. So we're now building the opposing force, if you will, in some ways, the counterpoint, the contrast of the Thunderbird here, the complementary force, let's call it, of the Thunderbird. Sorry, I'm like I just find it so interesting. I'm repeating myself. Anyway, so that's what we're working on over here, which is why, it makes extra sense. It's right next to the Thunderbird and stuff like that. I almost wish it was mirrored across from it, but hey, you can only do so much sometimes without rebuilding everything. The specific underwater panther we're talking about is going to be Mishipeshu. I believe that is specifically Ojibwe. It translates into Great Lynx. And now you're thinking, okay, hang on. You got panther, you got lynx. Where are my cougars coming? Okay, hang on. The Mishipeshu. Now, I'm not sure if Mishipeshu is a specific underwater panther or if it's the generic term for that mythical beast. So I do need to. My research gave me multiple different answers, and I couldn't deduce an answer to that question. But I got multiple different answers. But from my understanding, it is an underwater beast that is a blend of a few different animals. It's got horns like a deer or bison. It sometimes has feathers. It sometimes has reptilian features as well. But a big part of it is feline. And that feline part can be a few different types of animals, and one of those animals is the cougar, and that's where that connection is. So don't worry, I'm not just like pulling this out of thin air. There is a cougar connection. Now, the Mishipeshu was believed to be, and again, I guess more generically speaking, the underwater panther was sometimes believed to be helpful and protective, but again, more often they were viewed as malevolent beasts, and they brought death and misfortune. But again, there's nuance here, and we'll get into that as we move forward. They were thought to like hiss with the sounds of storms and rushing rapids. The belief is that the Mishipeshu is the cause of waves and rapids and whirlpools. So you'll see us actually make the water in this enclosure not very, but I introduce a fair bit of aggression to it, let's call it. We'll add some rapids and stuff. I don't make the entire lake too violent. I want the animals to be comfortable and stuff as well, right? But I do try to introduce some of that, let's call it malevolence, for lack of a better word, into the water. So beyond that harshness of the water and the storms and rapids and whirlpools, it's also believed that Mishipeshu breaks the ice in the winter, resulting in a loss of life a lot of the time. You can actually see I do attempt to make a representation of Mishipeshu, but it doesn't really come across very well. So you'll see me try a few different ways, and I decide not to go for it. There are some really nice depictions out there. You can Google it, and you can find some of those depictions, but the shapes in Planet Zoo don't really lend themselves to that aesthetic, and I'd rather not do it than do a terrible job of it, and I felt like I was doing a terrible job. So you'll see me undo a lot of this and a second attempt later on as well, and a couple more besides. So apart from their effects on the water and the ice, they reportedly guard copper deposits in the Great Lakes region as well, and parts of them might even be made of copper, like their scales and horns sometimes are described as being made of copper. Now, indigenous peoples used to mine copper in the pre-colonial era in this region, but later on, and I'm not sure what caused this transition, but later on it was seen as taboo to take copper, especially from specific regions, because it was seen to be stealing, or seen as rather stealing from the underwater panther. There's also a specific island, I forget the name of, where it was especially taboo because it was the home of, I guess, the Mishipeshu. This is what made me believe that it was one entity as opposed to a generic term for many, but then all my other sources were referencing Mishipeshu as a general term for a type of beast, so it got a little confusing. Anyway, so as I was saying, there's nuance to this, malevolence and stuff. It's not all bad. The Algonquin had similar views on the underwater panther, but they also believe that it provided protection and medicine. Some underwater beings, not the Mishipeshu, not the underwater panther specifically, but other underwater beings that are typically also seen as malevolent, they were instead sometimes considered to potentially provide a good hunt. Mishipeshu apparently is also a common family name among the Algonquin. Again, that needs some verifying. And you can see here my second attempt at trying to imply the connection of the cougar with whirlpools and bad, inclement weather and water conditions and stuff. Really not a fan of it. I think it looks really bad. So I get rid of all this, and I instead, that's when I get the idea of why don't we make the water itself actually be harsh and represents some of that malevolence. Okay, that was, whew, I was talking like 20 miles a minute there. There was a lot to talk about. This was very interesting for me because I knew some very surface level stuff about the underwater panther, and this gave me an opportunity to really dive deeper into that conversation and learn more for myself. Again, some of this information, I think I mentioned this earlier today, maybe it was in a different time lapse, now it's all blending together, but research, look, you could, when it comes to anthropological topics, you could research for hours, you could research for years, decades, and still not know the whole story, right? You could still miss out on certain details or information. So if I've missed out on something, or if I've got something wrong and you know better, do not hesitate to correct me in the comments, and I will, make note of that and reference it moving forward, especially if I got something major wrong. I'm pretty sure I've got the gist of it all right, and I do hope that you enjoyed the storytelling today, because I was really excited to share it, and I feel like it's some pretty interesting stuff and a slightly maybe unexpected angle, but another opportunity to sort of pay homage to, land upon which I reside. Alright folks, we are back from the time lapse, and it's time to add some Cougars to the zoo, huh? Oh my god, that's really bad. I can't help myself. But we're adding Cougars and boys. Of course, we can get some male and female Cougars in here. I almost actually said Cougars incorrectly that time. We're going to get some male and female Cougars in here to hopefully bring us some baby Cougars as well. But I'm really excited to see how they interact with the space. Again, tried to push for some technical curiosities here. I'm not sure if they're actually going to climb and move around and actually interact with the space. I might need to make it a bit easier for them to get up over here so they can go around this ledge or ridge or whatever you want to call it and play with this prey-scented marker or prey-scented sack, sorry. Mixing up my my items over here. So hopefully they're able to reach that, and hopefully we're going to see a fair bit of just interesting play going on with these trees and the feeder and stuff as well. Also hoping to see them navigate some of the waters. I'm not sure if they'll be able to navigate some of these rougher waters, but I'm fine with that. I'm sure I touched on some of this stuff during the time lapse as well. Was really having, as you could probably tell, and I might have mentioned as well, it's really going back and forth on a lot of ideas. Just because, again, you can kind of see them in your head, and then you try to use the pieces to execute them, and the pieces aren't all there. They're not the right sizes or shapes or what have you, and kind of throws things out of alignment, I guess. But I am pleased with the overall state of this enclosure. I feel pretty happy as well, actually, with the overall state of this space. I quite like that we have, I don't know, I feel like it's really nicely laid out, and there are still more animals to add, and I might sort of pull out this way and add them over here. I might pull through this way and add them over here. We'll see, but that's a conversation for later. Right now, we're going to focus on the Zoopedia entry, see what the animals need. Hopefully, we've actually met those needs. Hopefully, I haven't completely misjudged and miscalculated our enclosure over here. Over to the Cougar. It looks so... it's a great shot. This is a great... look at that. I would not want to be stared down by that, It's like trouble's coming your way. All right. The Cougar. The Puma concolor. Concolor or concolor? I mean, it's Latin, so... it's not color, is my assumption, but I don't know what it is. I always struggle with these. Anyways, the cougar is a large species of felid that lives in the forests, mountains, grasslands, deserts, and scrubland of Canada, the USA, Mexico, and all of South America. The cougar is also commonly known as the puma and the mountain lion. The cougar has sandy-colored fur, thick legs, and a thick tail, a broad head with rounded ears, a white muzzle, and dark tear marks coming down from the eyes. I wonder. Okay, so my assumption, because again, so I'm familiar with them as cougars, yes, but also more often than not, I guess, as mountain lions. So I kind of went with the assumption that they're comfortable with snow. Now, I wonder if, hopefully, if that assumption is correct, and if that assumption is correct, I wonder if the black kind of tears around the eyes are to help with the glare of the sun off the snow, or if it's for some other reason. Again, we've seen this like tear-shaped thing around eyes for a lot of animals. I mentioned this in my main playthrough, the franchise mode playthrough that I've been doing, but some of you are maybe not watching that. Some of you are maybe new to the channel with this, so I'll mention it again. But I've always wondered, I've often wondered, rather, if this wasn't the inspiration for some of the earliest uses of eyeliner in hotter parts of the world. A lot of desert cultures and stuff, especially, you'll see men and women both using some form of dark material, dark sort of pigment to circle the eyes. Like in Egypt, for example, you'd get coal that you'd kind of like surround the eyes with it, and it would be to help with like sweat and just like deal with like sun reflecting into the eyes and stuff. It's served quite a few purposes, and I almost wonder if it wasn't like one of the initial examples of biomimicry from people. You know, just like seeing an animal do something, or seeing an animal be a certain way, being curious as to why it is that way, trying it out and going, oh wow, this is really kind of good actually. But anyway, I wonder if that's why the cougars have it as well, because again, right, the sun reflecting off of the snow, and also just, I feel like, you know, I feel like mountain lions are just generally more exposed to clear skies and more direct sunlight and stuff as a result. So maybe. Anyways, that's a lot of theorizing off of one line. My apologies. Male cougars have a head body length of 47 to 80 inches, a height of 23.5 to 36 inches at the shoulder, a tail length of 24 to 38 inches, and weigh between 117 and 220 pounds. Females have a head body length of 35 to 72 inches, weigh between 64 and 141 pounds, and have a similar height and tail length to males. The cougar is not endangered. None of these, as far as I remember, I don't think any of these North American animals we've added so far have been endangered, as far as I recall, right? I forgot to mention, least concern, population in wild, unknown. Fair enough. Good for them. Natural habitat, quite a wide spread. I would imagine they are okay with taiga. I mean, look at that. Look at the variety, right? And I imagine, I'd be surprised if I'm wrong with this assumption, but I imagine, depending on where they are, they're a little different. You know, the thickness of the fur or something. I'm sure there's variety, right, between the -7 to the positive 43 degrees Celsius. I'm sure there are various differences in their what's the word I'm looking for, physiology and stuff. And now what's curious to me actually is, like, you've got this continuous tract over here, and then Florida, just what? Is that like illegal animal sort of imports that happen that have now stayed and kind of become like an invasive species or something like that? Like, that is a very specific like separation, and I'm curious if there was like an era where like people were importing cougars to Florida to have as like pets and stuff, because, you know, that's happened with like tigers, right? So maybe it's happened with cougars. Maybe some people were trying to pull off scams and like, yeah, I got you a tiger right here, yeah, don't worry about it. And then you give that tiger a bath and all the stripes come off, and oh my god, that's not a tiger, that's a cougar. I don't know, making stuff up, but that's very strange to me, and I'm curious about the appearance in Florida. Unless it's a different kind of cougar, in which case, okay, that makes sense to highlight Florida for that. But anyway, moving on from that, species data. Group size, excluding juveniles, is 1 to 2, up to 1 male, up to 1 female. Male bachelor group size is 1. Female bachelor group size is 1 as well. Wow, okay. They are very much solitary, I suppose. Dominance, none. Mating system is polygynous. Relation with humans is shy, and guests cannot enter the habitat. The average height for males is 2.5 feet tall at the shoulder. For females is 2.3. Average life expectancy is... Sorry, I said expectancy, funny there. Average life expectancy is 12 years across the board, males and females. And average weight is 150 pounds for males, 120 pounds for females. Sexual maturity at 3 years, sterility at death. Number of offspring per mating event is 1 to 4. Gestation period is 3 months. Interbirth is 24, and reproduction in captivity is average. So, I mean, I'm hoping by the time we finish this entire miniseries, we'll see some baby cougars. I'd be shocked if we don't. Because we got a couple of animals to add still, so there's plenty of time. Social needs. Cougars are solitary animals that only spend time together when mating, or in the case of a mother, with her cubs. Reproduction. Cougars can mate year-round. Females will come into estrus every 3 to 4 weeks and are receptive for a period of 8 days. Male cougars have large territories that may span across several female territories. Ah, interesting. Okay. Well, let's finish reading this first before I ask that question. Males will attempt to mate with receptive females on their territory. When the female is in estrus, she will scent mark and vocalize to attract males. When a male finds a female, they will sniff each other, growling and vocalizing until the female lets him mate. Copulation lasts around a minute, and the male and female may mate several times in an hour, then part ways. Cougars are polygynous. The male may mate with many females, but females will generally mate with only one male during each reproductive event. Okay, I've got a couple of questions like stacking up now. So first of all, okay, pretty interesting in that there's overlapping territories is my assumption, because it says males have large territories that span across several female territories. Now, my question to that was sort of, do males have their male exclusive territory as well? Oh my god. Do male cougars have a man cave? Oh my god. What an opportunity. I couldn't skip out on that one. But jokes aside, in all seriousness, do male cougars have like a man cave, a space that is, exclusively for like their own territory? Or is all of their territory overlapping with one female or another? I imagine the former. I imagine they have territory that belongs exclusively to them. But who knows, right? Depending on the size of some of these. Who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure. Because you can be solitary while sharing the same territory if the territory is large enough, right? And when somebody else comes too close, you just move over to a different female's territory. I'm curious. That's different. That was the main question I had coming up from that statement. But then from the end over here, obviously, there's no, like, mating isn't 100% successful. There's not a 100% success rate when it comes to mating, right? I guess several times in an hour means you're more likely to have success, but this is sort of a hypothetical. What if you don't? So do some females simply just, like, once they found the one male mate, do they just kind of figure, okay, no big deal if I'm not having any offspring this time around? It's only 3 or 4 weeks before I can go at it again, right? Like that kind of makes sense to me, because it's like if you're able to mate that often, you're probably not, as a species, as concerned about the survivability or the number of offspring and things like that. Because again, if you can mate that often, then you're pretty safe. You don't have to like, both males and females don't have to mate multiple times to secure the future of the species. So I guess that makes sense. But I was just curious because, like, what triggers the switch, so to speak. Now, it says generally they'll mate with only one, so it's not like every female cougar is like this. But what is it that flips the switch? Is it just is it pregnancy, or is it the assumption of pregnancy? Is it the activity? Is it like copulation itself? It's like, all right, cool, I got 1 hour every 3 to 4 weeks reserved for this. Apart from that, I'm busy. Like, how does that? I'm curious how that works. What the mental, I guess, process is, and the assumptions and stuff being made by the female. Now, after a pregnancy of 82 to 98 days, the female will give birth to a litter of 1 to 6 cubs, 3 to 4 on average. Cubs begin to eat solid food at 2 weeks old and are fully weaned by 40 days old. Cubs remain with their mother until they are 1 to 2 years old, usually until their mother becomes pregnant again. During this time, she will teach them to hunt. Cougars reach sexual maturity between 18 months and 3 years old. When young adults leave their mother, they live solitarily. That's very interesting. I mean, you'd expect... What's the life expectancy? 12 years. I mean, now they've got a massive tract of land. Okay, so fair. But, like, you expect a lot more just, like, competition for space when you're having... 3 to 4 cubs on average that within a span of 3 years will go out and mark their own territory or stake their own territory. So yeah, that's That's interesting. Actually, on the topic of reading the cougar's reproduction information, many of you pointed out in the comments. Again, I haven't been able to like write responses to comments lately. It just life's been kind of like all over the place. Nothing bad or worrying. Don't worry about it. I don't want to like cause any panic or anything. It's just been super busy. Still haven't finished unpacking at the new place. You know, it's wild. But I'm still reading all the comments. So don't hesitate to leave likes and comments, folks. Again, likes and comments. The numbers help me understand that people are interested in something. It's just a quick read for me. But I do also, read through each and every comment to just see how people are feeling and what we're liking, what we're not liking. I take all your feedback and thoughts and stuff into consideration all the time. So to that effect, I saw a lot of comments with regards to how felines, my bad, how felines will often be able to I forget the exact terminology, and I apologize. There were some great comments on this, actually. I learned a lot. So again, thank you all very much for that. But felines will often mate multiple times, where the female is able to have offspring from multiple males. Kept like flipping feline and female there. That was a challenge to get through. But yeah, so that was being provided as an explanation for our Arctic foxes, who, just really quick distraction over here, folks, my apologies, but I did want to address this because it was a curiosity of mine, and I got quite a few answers. So there was the mention of females having like what was it, like mating, having multiple litters. I'm trying to like find it quickly over here, and that's just making me slower to find it. But anyways, there was some confusion that made it sound like Arctic foxes would have more offspring in a good food season, right? And I was curious about like, okay, well, how is that decision made? And I guess some of you were suggesting, if I understood you correctly, some of you were suggesting that the decision was made in an ongoing basis. It's sort of like, I've copulated once, I am pregnant. However, I have now, like, food is still plentiful, so I will copulate again, and now I will be even more pregnant with even more, like that. I guess that makes sense, but I don't know if that's what this is, and I'm curious. Some of you suggested that with food surplus, the female's body might be in a better state, and so it's more capable of sustaining a larger, what's the word I'm looking for? Litter. And giving birth to a larger litter. So that's interesting as well. So yeah, I mean, again, like I say all the time, I do read through when I ask a question, when I'm reading these, I'm not necessarily asking out, into the ether. I guess technically I am, but it's always cool to see responses and theories as well. Like I was saying, I think last session, I love conversation, right? It's so easy to Google something and get the answer with at most a couple hours of Googling these days. But there's something about seeing what people think, seeing people's theories and thoughts, and sometimes the facts they put down when they're educated in a certain space. It's the way people express ideas. I always love the way people communicate facts that they know. Tells you a lot about, you find a lot of, you learn more than the original question that was asked, I find, in how people answer a question. Anyway, enough of a distraction. My apologies. On the topic of learning things, let's learn some fun facts over here after taking a quick look at this stuff. Yeah, not surprised. There's nothing new. There's the pinata pronghorn, but I don't know if that's new. It's got to be new. I don't remember seeing it ever before, but it's just a pinata zebra with a different skin. So again, a little bummed that not every animal gets that special treatment of like one extra thing, but hey, it is what it is. Fun fact number 1. The cougar has large paws and the largest hind legs of any felid species relative to body size. Okay. I guess that helps with the mountain part of the mountain lion, right? Don't spend a lot of time lying around. Fun fact number 2. Despite being the 4th largest cat species, cougars are not considered part of the big cats as they lack the bones and organs required to roar. That's just rude. That's unfair. I don't know if I'm okay with that. Like that, I don't know. It just feels unfair. Jokes aside, I didn't realize that the ability to roar was a prerequisite to being a big cat. So, there you go. Fun fact number 3 seems like a bit of a cop-out. Cougars cannot roar, but do make sounds comparable to those of domestic cats. Now, I've heard I've been told that big cats, or rather cats, can only do one or the other. They can either roar or they can meow, basically, because of the physiological needs to do, both. You can't do both. That's what I've been told. I don't know how accurate that is, but I will say I'm a little. You know what? The fun facts so far throughout this DLC have been great, but fun fact number 3 over here on the Cougars, a little disappointing. A little disappointing. It's just a follow-up to, 2 and 3, double dipping over here. Fun fact number 4, Cougar cubs are born with black spots that act as camouflage. They lose this patternation at 6 months old. This stuff I always find fascinating. Like the tapirs, the Baird's tapirs especially, like the patterning that they lose as they get bigger and bigger. Like that's so cool to me. And fun fact number 5, Cougars are strong swimmers able to cross lakes and rivers, but like most cats, prefer to stay out of the water. Yeah, well, we've given them plenty to play in. Again, it plays with the themes as well that we're tapping into with this enclosure. But it's good to know they are strong swimmers, and hopefully they'll actually enjoy some of the water in their enclosure. With that all said and done, let's go ahead and actually get them into their enclosure. Over to no. Let's use these new buttons. I'm still getting used to them, but they're such great buttons. All right, Winnemucca, let's go ahead and adopt you right away. Gold, highest appeal. Like, well, why wouldn't I do that? We've got ourselves a male, and Ayana, I suppose, will be our female, silver rated. Go for it. We can only have one of each. Only have one of each. Now we can go over to the trade center, scoop the Cougars up, and over to your enclosure. Habitat 30. Wow. Puts things into perspective a little bit, doesn't it? I was just looking at earlier, I kind of had a side glance at the year, and it's the year 27. I was like, well, almost at year 30, and we're at Habitat 30. It's kind of wild. I kind of wanted to do, like... I wonder if I want more snow in here, actually. I might. You know what? Just a little bit, at least. Just, like, have some of these places be full-on covered in snow. I don't mind having some of it be... not covered in snow. I don't want this to be, like, snow-heavy, but I do want it to be snowy, and that's why I've got, like, some snow on the rocks and stuff. I want it to feel like that makes sense. You wouldn't get snow piling up like this if it wasn't a relatively heavily snowed on part of the ground. But I am okay with some of these like spots next to the water not having so much snow. I don't like the grass though, and I'm curious if the Cougars want any grass at all, or if they like need too much grass. But we'll find out in just a moment. Pretty pleased with this. And I'll be honest, the splashing, the foam never really does it for me. I mean, I love the foam, rather. The foam is great. The splashing, like the against the rocks, I just never feel like I can quite get it exactly how it should look, as far as realism is concerned. But again, I wanted to create some rough water over here. I almost wonder if I don't make it even rougher, hoping that between the waterfall and the flow, we have something okay. And actually, you know what? On the note of making it rougher, why don't we go ahead and make it rougher, right? Did you become rough water? Yeah, you did. Cool. Yeah. No control over its direction or anything, but hey, it looks rougher, and it, again, goes with our, like, story, I guess, a little bit, right? Alright, cool. Here they come. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. I do quite like this little cave we've built over here for them to be, popped in through. It's like perfect height almost. Oh, here we go. Oh my god, look at that scar. Wasn't expecting to see that right off the bat. Hey, buddy. So cool. Look at those scars, though. Immediately going up the ramp over here. Alright, excellent. Not going to complain about that. I was a little worried that this wouldn't work, but those worries were unfounded. Up you go. Immediately lying down. Oh, what a cat. Oh, what an absolute cat. Oh my god. That's... And then, of course, with the grooming. I mean, that's honestly... I feel like that's how felines were initially identified by scientists. I was like, well, how could we tell? They're from the same group. Like, how do we categorize them? Well, they lie down very often. They like climbing things. They like grooming themselves. And look, when I put something on an elevated flat surface, it instinctually throws it off the surface for no real reason. Also, watch it cough up a hairball. Sorry, I'm absolutely in love with this. This is so great. I like cats, by the way. I just realized everything I just said makes it sound like I'm a cat hater. I'm not. I am a dog person. I love dogs, but I don't love dogs at the cost of liking cats. I like cats as well, just to be clear. Well, okay, I can't get my listen. I actually have to make sure you're okay. Yeah, he's not okay. Right? That's too many scars, right? I was a little worried about that. But no, I needed to make sure they're happy with their environment and stuff, but instead I'm staring at this one guy. Alright, what do we got going on over here? We need a bit more soil, and actually they do want some more short grass. Okay, some more short grass, some more soil. Not a problem. They actually want more trees. Of course, that makes sense. I should have seen that coming. Some more soil, more short grass. Where are we? Go and get some soil over here. I thought that would make sense anyway, so that works for me. More soil over here. Yeah. And then some short grass as well. I should have kept the panel open, right? What are we looking at? Oh yeah, that's nowhere near enough. Why don't we go ahead and make this into short grass as well? Oh wow, okay. I was a little off the mark here. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Add some more grass over here. I was way off the mark, eh? But I don't care for snow, I guess. That's fine. Explains why they're, I guess that explains why they are located up here and not up here or up here. Okay, it's starting to make sense now. It's starting to make sense. Let's go ahead and clean some of this up then. It doesn't quite work, obviously. Just piles of snow on these rocks. Oh, oops. Oh, that's just actual snow. Again, that's fine. I mean, like I've said before, right? Typically, I'm curious to see how close or how far I might be with my assumptions. And quite far this time around. We've been pretty accurate. And I think I was actually quite happy with how accurate we've been last session, right? I think I mentioned it quite directly. I was like, wow, we've done pretty good. But then, of course, that means in the following episode, everything goes horribly wrong. This water is a bit higher than it was previously, so that's a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and, sorry, buddy, gonna have to get you out of the water. A bit lower. There we go. I guess that looks right. Yeah, it looks about right. Okay, that's good as well. It gives us a bit more land to play with. More soil in here. More soil here. There we go. There we go. Good stuff. Eating up some of the short grass, though, is the problem. Put some more of that down. They really don't care for snow, do they? Alright, fair enough. It is what it is. Go ahead and do that. Get rid of all the snow, Alright, cool. How you feeling, buddy? Still need more soil, not surprised. And I need more coverage as well. That's not what I meant to do. Terrain, soil. Whoa. Here we go. Makes sense, right down over here. There we go, beautiful. Cool, and then trees. They want more trees. A fair bit more trees, actually. Works for me. I'm cool with having just the snow be just along the edge over here as well. There's also, by the way, this new random rotation button, which is pretty neat. I like it, however, truth be told, you still can't put too many of the same tree right next to each other, because it'll still feel like, those are the exact same height. So I wish there was a bit more, random scaling and stuff as well. I feel like it could make this even smoother. I think it's a great addition, don't get me wrong, but I'd much rather just, duplicate, tap Z a couple times, and put it down, you know what I mean? Rather than check a box and still have to It's just a matter of like my habits. That's all it is. Obviously, it's a good tool. Don't get me wrong. It is a good tool. I'm glad they've added it. I'm looking forward to more tweaks like that. Now, they seem to be able to reach pretty much everything. Let's just double check though. Habitat. Ooh, they're able to reach pretty much everything actually. They can't get out over here. All right, so can we go ahead and pull this out, duplicate it and pull it out, make this a bit wider, and can we go ahead and raise this up? Duplicate and raise it up, I mean. But he's having to lie down again. Still able to climb out of there, but not able to move through here. I like that they can climb that. That's pretty cool, but not ideal. And raise this up. I don't mind that little ridge of snow. I like some of the snow effects that you can pull off. That looks better. This is still not okay over here. You can walk through all that, but not at the edge over here. Okay, fair enough. So why don't we go ahead and duplicate this. Do this kind of a thing. Go ahead and check if that worked. Yeah, that's better. Still can't get all the way to the edge, eh? It's just a matter of like the width out over here. What if I do that? What if it's less bumpy? In a way, I'm kind of glad that he's just kind of camping out over there. I think this is blocked off because of the enrichment item. Yeah. So we should be able to pull you back to here, and they should be able to use it. Because it's got the space around it that needs to be kept empty. Alright, cool. Otherwise, we're looking good. Oh, no, we're not. Wow, they can really climb, eh? Why can they climb all that, but they can't, like, climb, like, up to this and stuff? That's wild. I like it. That's really cool. I just, like, how could... Oh, are you serious? Oh, I would actually love to see them do that. I don't think they will. How cool would that be? Go ahead and raise that up a bit. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. So now they can get up here, but they don't want to jump down from up there. And I guess that's how cats get stuck in trees and stuff, right? Alright, good stuff. Good stuff. Now we can just kind of observe them a little bit. Oh, it's a box. Go for it. Go for it. Yes. Do it. Do it. Do it. I didn't know what to expect. I'm pleased. Didn't quite catch the reaction, but I'm still pleased that we we got to watch that go down. All right. Good stuff. And buddy up over here still? Yeah, really just kind of like relaxing, eh? Can't say he's taking a break. He's just like been on break. Said I want some baby cougars, buddy. Gotta get to work. They're so well done. I'm glad he's enjoying the shade and stuff, though. I love the little things like that when placements and stuff work out. It's always pretty interesting. Oh, we don't have any warnings about. We don't. Okay, I was worried that staff couldn't reach the feeding spots, but looks like we're good. I do want to check really quickly. Have we had any Arctic fox babies? I don't think so. Actually, the quicker way to check would be simply make our way over here. Where's the right? I don't want to get too distracted by the Arctic foxes because we all know what's going to happen. Oh, we have. Yes. That I came to check. Hey, buddy. Again, it is the cougar episode. We will go back to the cougars, don't worry, but we have some baby Arctic foxes, so I just wanted to check them out and make sure. Oh my god, look at that run. You can hear the guests be excited as well. That's basically how I feel. Oh my god, they're so cute. Okay, I was like, what's going on here? Oh hey, they are facing the wrong direction. I guess I put these benches down the wrong way. Fair enough. But you know what? It's actually not a bad direction because you can actually see everything, so can't really complain. It's nice to see people actually come through. Oh my god, this is killing me. Are you serious? This is so cute. It's like, oh my god, it's like they're following their mom. Oh, I'm losing my mind over here. This is amazing. I have no words. I have no words. This pleases me greatly. I feel like the visuals just say everything there is to say, you know? You guys, a little drone shot over here. Wish I could slow the camera down, like, without having to open up the menu. I'm assuming she's crossing the entire lake, is her plan. Oh, look at the little guy back over there. He's like, guys, wait up for me. Decided to turn around. Fair enough. Oh my god. They're so cute. Oh, that's why they turned around, because there's food now. Hey, this guy gets to win. Oh my god. It's just too much. It's just too much. Okay, shake it off. Come on. Channel your Taylor Swift. Oh, nah. He just randomly dried off. Okay, fair enough. Didn't need to shake it off. Back to our Cougars. Is their episode? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh. So much power in that run animation, you know? Bounding. Oh, I wanted to catch this guy having a little lie down over here, but a little too slow. Oh. Like resting next to the water, I guess, eh? With a sprinkler. Cooling off a bit. Oh, here we go. Mating? Maybe? Yeah. Very simple animation. Was it successful? Yep. Offspring due June of year 28. Oh, hey. Soon. Well, that's unfortunate. Having to lie down and, just off screen there. Whoa, there you go. Come on, look this way. Yes. Just get the waterfall in the shot as well. I feel like in another life, I might have gone into wildlife photography. It was actually one of the. It was something when I was really young. It was something that I wanted to like get into. I don't know if I ever wanted to do it as like a career. I can't remember. This was a long time ago when I was a kid. I always loved like National Geographic. The magazine, the channel, and everything, and I was always like, wow, I wish I could take pictures like that and like experience animals like that. I guess my love of animals has been around since longer than I can remember. But not just like loving animals, but being intrigued by their behaviors and all that. I used to love those, you know, TV shows and documentaries that you still get. You just don't get them as often. But, you know, on like Discovery and Animal Planet and Nat Geo, you'd get like the... Yeah, just those great documentaries and series about various animals, and great photography, great filmography, great informative content. Man, I miss those days. I am hardcore reminiscing right now. That's some of my favorite stuff to watch. Some of my favorite stuff to watch, even as a kid. Just trying to have a lie down over here, just keeps getting interrupted. How close are we to June? Oh, still so far away. Look at how buff they are, you know? Like, Still sleek, still very sleek as one expects. As like one almost envisions, I think the mountain lion to be. I do at least, but a lot bulkier than I expected actually. What are you doing? Just walking back and forth, patrolling? Guess so. I love the face is almost like constantly judgmental. It's like that furrowed brow, you know? Oh, buddy's up. Yeah. Back to the grooming. Come on, make eye contact. Damn. Looking forward to seeing them interact with more of their like toys and stuff, you know? I haven't seen them climb up there just quite yet, for example. You know, you can go around the box too, right? Or are you investigating the box? I don't think so. Alright, folks. It is June. Year 28. No, don't go into the water. If you go into the water, you have to go out of the water before you can have babies. No! They're hungry also. I'm curious why a keeper hasn't come yet. Get one over urgently. Well, I see one actually waiting there with a bucket. I would assume there's food. Oh, you know what? Maybe he can't reach up there. And the game just didn't mention it. Many guests think tickets are underpriced. Doesn't matter. Huh. These guys stuck in boxes and stuff. Unbox all animals, come on. Unbox. Hopefully these guys stop being stressed out when there are fewer boxes in their enclosures. Oh, look at these crowds that we have actually up over there. It's just that this space is so far off, you know? That's why it gets less busy. Do we have babies? Not from you, we don't. June of year 28. Yeah. Looks like they're going to be a little late. That's okay. We got time. Come on. Okay. Baby time. Let's go. Let's go. It's a couple of babies. Come on. You gotta wait for them to, like, sit down, right? That's their, like... Sitting down is the typical reproduction animation. I do wish more animals had more custom animations. Every time I see a birth now like this, I think about the koala and the kangaroo and just how custom their animations are. Oh my god, oh wow, you're a real cutie. You know that? Look at those eyes. I'm so pleased. I'm glad we waited. Just for that, I'm glad we waited. Off you go. Oh, look at that. Clean climb animation there. So tiny. But yeah, it's funny to see, like, those spots disappear as they become adults, right? Like, they're not, like, small or understated. They're not, like, a tiny mark or anything. They're pronounced. They're very, very visible. Just to keep them alive when they're young, I guess. What's a cougar's natural predator? Apart from humans, I guess. Like, what's its natural enemy? Time, folks. Time. Because we're out of it. I hope you all enjoyed this session. I certainly did. It's been fun so far adding these animals in. Again, like I said previously, quite a few more to add as well. If you've been enjoying this mini-series, if you would like to see it continue, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know, folks. Leave a like and a comment down below as always. It makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do, what I don't do. Again, y'all know the drill by now, I'm sure. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.